Welcome to the Legion Outriders podcast, a member of the Radio Free Tattooing Network.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
Your source for the latest Legion news, opinion, and analysis.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
John Archiquette.
Will somebody get this big walking carpet out of my way?
Matt Turner.
I'm not afraid.
And Joshua Gray.
You will be.
What's going on, Outriders? John and Josh. No Matt today.
So what's the exchange rate for Matt?
There is
nothing, apparently.
There is no replacing Matt. Matt is irreplaceable.
Or he's utterly replaceable. And the empty chair sitting there is... No, I'm just joking.
But he took our recording tools.
He did take our recording tools. So
it's not like we could replace him even if we wanted to.
Is that literally taking his ball and going to Celebration? That literally is what that is.
It is, yeah.
Ugh.
It's all right. We managed to jury rig this this thing together with an old recorder tool.
We MacGyvered that.
We kind of did, yeah.
The great thing is we can go and if we just add some Lysol and some spit, we've made a nuclear weapon. So we're good. We're good.
So I'm back from my little excursion to Aspen.
I'm so glad you're back.
It was nice.
I hated hosting. I don't like hosting. It's not fun.
You guys did a good job.
Yeah, it was all right.
It's easy to replace me when you've got Nick Freeman and LJ though,
right.
too. I mean,
I think my strength much rather lies in standing across from you and making pithy comments.
That is what you're best at.
Yeah, you don't want me guiding the ship. All right.
That's like giving Muppets hosting duties to the critics sitting in the cheap seats.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Now, but thankfully, I get back, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Oh, man.
FFG, remember like a couple months ago when we would go a couple weeks, and it'd be like, man, we need some news. And now it's just like,
bang.
Every week.
We thought we had a show today, and then Matt actually found some stuff at Celebration.
Right.
And we were lucky enough to be able to break it to both Facebook and Discord, and the world has exploded. So Good job, Matt.
Yeah,
so we'll talk about that after the break. But you're going to have to sit through or fast forward through the other stuff that we've got to talk about, which is pretty meaty.
I would say extremely meaty.
Yes, and leathery.
Look, I put sunscreen on, okay?
Hey, except for that spot on your nose.
Yeah, I know.
You've got a very interesting suntan there, by the way.
I look like a raging alcoholic. All right, so before we get into all the awesome news, we got some, a little bit of Star Wars news because
it's Celebration.
Star Wars Celebration's going on, and
so
we can't be there, so we'll just talk about it from afar.
We can't. FFG panel coming up this weekend. I believe it's on Saturday. Not a lot of the Legion news expected because they dumped it all at Adepticon. Looks like another X-Wing wave coming. Wave 5 for 2.0 will be announced there. You're also looking at the Episode 9 panel, I think is tomorrow or Friday, depending on when you're listening to this. And that's going to be probably the biggest news of big news in quite a while. It'd be really silly if they had a panel without a trailer.
Yeah.
So you can probably expect to see a trailer, which will also give you the name of the episode, which is much speculated about. And I don't know if you've seen that mural that they have on display there.
Yes.
But currently, Episode 9 is covered.
So they've got a mural section for all of the movies, plus the Clone Wars, plus Rebels, plus Rogue One. So
all of it.
The entire current canon from Episode 1 up until Episode 8 is all in this beautiful mural, and then the last panel is just covered up. So yeah, I'm excited to see what characters are going to be on there, and
we saw a leaked poster or image for Jedi Fallen Order, which is the game that EA is working on. So that's pretty pretty hyped.
This will be the first non-Battlefront EA Star Wars game, correct?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much just speculating on anything at that point.
In the dark, completely. But the image has got a lightsaber in it, and then a circle of glyphs all the way around it, which connects it to, I believe it connects it to Rebels. that script was in some of the temples that they went into. If I remember reading it correctly, I may be wrong, so don't quote me on it. But yeah, that's
Either that, or it's to announce a new side project they have going on with Lucky Charms to give us the new Star Wars Lucky Charms cereal.
Dude, that would be
featuring
great.
all sorts of your favorite glyphs as marshmallows.
I don't have a favorite glyph.
I don't either.
Uh-oh. Yeah. But we'll make it work, I guess. But that's Star Wars news. Celebrations going on. Celebrate.
I have one more bit of Star Wars news.
Go for it.
I re-attacked Star Wars Rebels. And I made it through the first season.
And
I'm starting to like it.
did we not tell you it would pick up?
It got better.
We told you it was kind of campy in the beginning and kid-focused, but
yeah, and
once they start like kidnapping and beating and torturing main characters, that's when it starts to pick up.
Right, and I've gotten past my initial hatred of what was his name?
Ezra?
Ezra, yeah, and his laser slingshot. Now he's got his blaster saber, which
is awesome.
A little cooler, yeah.
Right?
But yeah, I mean, the characters are getting better. They brought back Rex, and I mean, spoiler alert, I guess.
Yeah,
but yeah,
some of the Clone Wars clones.
Yeah, but the episode where they go into the Mad Max style, run into the dust storm and then
with the AT-ATs.
Yeah, super cool.
Right?
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
so
it gets good. It's really good.
So I know I'm like 5 years behind the curve on this now. But
hey, it's all that matters is that you're here.
Exactly.
That's all that matters, John. You're here now.
All right, so
yeah.
I'm fully aboard the Star Wars Rebels train.
But there was something Legion related that actually made you pick that back up.
Yeah, so like with Sabine coming out, and I'm a fluff first person. Like I would rather have a character that I like more than a character that's just good on the tabletop. And with Sabine coming out soon and her rules looking real good, I'm like, I can't justify to myself I'm going to pick up this model to play it just because it's good on the tabletop. So I need to build some affinity for the character. And I started watching the show, and she's a cool character.
Right?
I enjoyed her, and just
explosions. Yeah. Now that card makes a lot more sense for
sure.
you, doesn't
yeah.
it? Yeah.
And then, I mean, just like each, I'm only through like halfway through the second season, but just seeing her look and her, like her armor change. There's a lot of room for like cool paint styles that I'm really looking forward to, like the hobby aspect of it.
Right. Yeah,
so.
and that's one of the things that I'm really enjoying about early Legion is they're still mining all of the properties.
Yeah.
One of the big problems they kind of had in X-Wing is they released so much content and they had so many ships that they started putting out pilots for ships that were drawn from like the FFG RPGs for the Force and Destiny game and stuff like that. I had no connection to them. So like putting them on the board, it was just like, well, here's a ship, So I definitely see where you're coming from for that. Yeah.
So I'm enjoying the show, and I guess I'll keep you guys updated as I'll probably power through all of it within the next like couple weeks or so.
Good.
So then I'll let you know how that turns out. But at the moment, I'm currently enthused to play Sabine.
Enthused.
Yeah.
So great. You're overwhelmed.
I am
whelmed. You're more than whelmed.
I'm more than whelmed. I don't know if I'm overwhelmed, but I'm excessively whelmed.
Super. That's great.
All right, so let's take a look at some of the stuff that we got announced this week, because it seems like so long ago.
It's been
but
a busy news week.
It has. Yeah. So Tuesday, or was it Monday? Tuesday. We got the announcements for. No, it was Monday because we had the Monday meeting.
That's right.
Yeah, because
I'm waving it. John and I work together, and we have a Monday morning meeting every Monday at 9 a.m. And I'm sitting there browsing the Discord at like 8:45, and the FFG articles drop with the previews or the announcement of Shoretroopers and Dewbacks. So John's settling in for the morning meeting, and I immediately run up to him, and I'm like waving my phone in his face. Looky. Yeah. And then we had to sit there and sit through the meeting and not dork around on our phones trying to figure out, what these things are. But
it's like Christmas Eve when you get a peek at the presents that are out there, but your mom makes you go to church for an hour first. And you're just like the entire time, you're just like, wonder what we got. Yeah.
Yeah. And boy, what did we get?
All right, so let's start with the Shoretroopers, because these dudes are
love them,
awesome.
Love them.
So that ends. First of all, it ends the speculation of do we get sand troopers or shore troopers.
Or fleet troopers, which was the other one.
Sure.
The Navy troopers.
Yeah, and I'm happy with this one.
I am too.
I think the shore troopers were the most, I would say unique of them.
Yeah, the armor is just all kinds of cool.
Yeah.
That helmet is just great. I didn't want those silly helmets from the naval troopers. Sorry. No. I didn't want those. And then mud troopers, sand
They could be
troopers,
cool at some point in time. I'd like to see
Sure.
the mud troopers at least. I feel like sand troopers are just stormtroopers. Let's be real.
Shores are so good, though.
Yeah.
Those models are so sexy. All right,
So let's go to the rules for them right away.
Sure.
So we're looking at 52 points for a unit.
Not bad.
No, I mean,
bad.
it's more expensive, but for what you're getting,
Better.
it's better. You got 4 guys in a unit, just like regular stormtroopers. Now, the reason where their points come in here is you're throwing black dice
On attack.
on attack. So it's the first core unit for the Imperials that throws black attack dice. Pretty awesome.
Which really shores up their one weakness.
Haha.
See what I did there?
Good one.
Yeah. I mean, but they don't surge to anything, but they keep the red defense die.
Yep.
So you've got the best part of rebel troopers and the best part of stormtroopers for not that much of a point increase. I mean, 4 points ish, I think.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
Because you're looking at 13 points per trooper, and I think it's 11 or 12. Well, 8 points for the base squad. Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, why wouldn't you play that? I mean, the cost is negligible. Once you start adding that up, it's a sniper team.
Sure.
But you're trading off a sniper team to upgrade the entirety of your squad. I'd do that in a heartbeat. But wait, there's more.
Okay, so you're also getting the movement 2.
Yep.
And you're getting, health 1, courage 1,
Standard
and an
troopers,
additional training slot for upgrades.
Yep.
So that's the only thing that's really new. But then you get the keywords, and this is where it gets meaty.
Sure.
So you get coordinated placement trooper. After you are issued an order token, you may issue an order token to a friendly emplacement trooper within range 1, and then target 1 after you're issued an order. Gain 1 aim token.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
I mean, remember how good that little coordinated fire card was? It just got better.
Yeah, especially if if you're playing Palp with them, an entire legion just got a whole lot better too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because if you can go and dump, if you've got 5-6 core units in your army, you just got six aim tokens. And I've always talked about how important action economy is in a game like this.
Yeah.
A unit, assuming the game goes 6 rounds, you've got 12 actions. That's it. That's all you get. You get 12 actions. And more than likely, half of those are probably going to be moves. So in essence, you've got 6 actions to do stuff with. So anytime you can not have to make that decision to move or aim, do I shoot and take a dodge and just hope for the best? If you're in a defensive position or something like that, it's nice to see the Empire start to get some of that action economy.
Yeah.
Not to say that there was no action economy before. But to see it start to come in a little bit more is really, really good. And boy, that emplacement.
So that's where we saw this.
That attachment trooper.
Yeah, we saw this with the Rebel veterans.
Yep.
And they had their attachment emplacement trooper. Well, the mortar team that the shore troopers are getting look pretty awesome.
Yes, it does. Not only is it a cool model, but it's one more tool in the range 4 toolbox that the shore troopers get. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I want to loop back to the heavy weapon upgrade.
Yeah.
This.
Oh yeah.
So let's roll into that first, because
from what we
that
see
is
on it,
the all-star of this release.
Yeah. So it's a T218 trooper, I believe, is the number on it.
It's a T21B.
T21B. There we go.
Sure.
Range 1 to 4, 2 black, 1 white. So far, I mean, there may be more, but it looks like that's that's what's visible. And Critical 1.
Much better than a DLT, in my opinion.
Honestly, I agree with you.
2 red's great. 2 red with Surge is great. Especially in a meta that we have right now. You're not getting much when it comes to troops in cover. If you're shooting range 4 with 2 red and they're in heavy cover, you're basically playing suppression games. So for the Imperials to get something that at range 4, and the nice thing about Critical is that happens during the Surge window.
Yeah.
So, like, Impact is great, but it's a trooper meta. Impact really doesn't do you much of anything. So the fact that this Critical happens in the Surge window and lets you switch something to a hit to a crit is better because, one, it doesn't dodge and cover away for trooper units, but okay, I'm losing Impact 1. But you're gaining a critical hit, which goes through armor anyways.
Yeah.
So as long as you roll a hit and rolling 4 black dice for the squad, and then 2 black and a white for the heavy weapon for the T-21B, you're going to roll a hit in there somewhere. You would hope. It's great.
I agree.
It's so much better. It allows you to do so many more things than the DLT does. It's auto include. I mean, it's buy me 6 units of Shoretroopers because that's what I'm running. I mean,
well, I was gonna go ahead and add to that, but I mean, I'm not going to try to be the first sergeant here trying to piggyback on what my commander said. I mean, you basically hit it on the head. Like, Critical's really good. I would rather have that than Impact.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much more useful.
Yeah.
Because it gets you through cover. It gets you, it's great. It's so good.
Yeah, really good. So we don't know the point cost on that one yet, but I mean, if we're guessing it's somewhere around the point cost of a DLT, totally worth it.
Because you're rolling less dice, but you're getting a better keyword. So I'd put it right there at the cost of a DLT. So. Yeah. You're looking at you're looking at about the same squad cost as a DLT Stormtrooper squad.
So back to what we were talking about with the emplacement, like the attachment trooper.
Yeah.
So one of the cool things about having FFG, having a team that's super communicative with the community in general, involved with the community. Luke and Alex were on 5th Trooper podcast, or Notorious Scoundrels,
and 5th Trooper.
It's
kind of like a conglomerated podcast now.
You know what, guys? We love you, but just combine your shows.
Give it up. Just make it one show. Yeah, 2 become 1. There you go.
Just the Notorious Trooper, or
the 5th Scoundrel.
One of the two. You just combine
the
them.
Notorious 5th Scoundrel Trooper.
But no, so they had Alex and Luke on the show, and they gave a little bit of a not exactly confirmation, but pretty much a confirmation that the attachment emplacement trooper will actually count as a core unit.
Right. They didn't
awesome.
necessarily confirm it, but they kind of heavily hinted at it. The other thing that they confirmed is that those emplacement troopers for both the Rebel veterans and the short troopers are going to get fire support, which is really big.
Yeah, which we've seen previewed from the clone troopers, and obviously that's going to have a huge implication on how the way this game's going to play later on. But yeah, I mean, that having an option like that for your core units, I mean, it's cheaper. It adds a whole different aspect of how the game's going to play, because you can just basically, I mean, with the mortars, if they fire off like ATS, like mortars do, you can leave them back in your back line and just use them as support, and they'll like free you up more points for other options later on.
But what you're also looking at is you're probably looking at a max health of 2 on a core unit.
Sure.
And you're also, I mean, your core units are your units that are pushing forward on objectives. They're doing the yeoman's work of your army. I don't know if I want to run, and Luke kind of did this with the game he was talking about. Mm-hmm. He said he ran 3 E-Webs, 3 mortar teams, and then 3 shore troopers.
Yeah.
So that's cool, but I don't know if I like 9 units, only 3 of them are really involved in grabbing boxes, sitting on objectives, because you're looking at a mortar team, 4 to the board edge. If you're, if you're really going with the, if you're really going to say it's an analog to the ATST mortar, 4 to the board edge, 3 white. That ain't great.
Yeah, but sometimes I like to throw a naked trooper unit in my army just to sit on backfield objectives.
Sure.
Well, what if I can do that now that's cheaper and actually have them still be able to contribute some offensive firepower?
Yeah, I mean,
it's another tool in your box.
Speculation.
Sure.
But I mean, it's like you hate snipers. Well, here comes triple snipers, triple mortars.
Yeah. I mean, that'll take care of some of that standby people were worried about.
Right. Sure.
So I was excited to hear that, and it gives another option for you.
But the fire support is really what works with that, because being able, if I've got a trooper unit that is firing, then I can add in that mortar with it. Four black or 6 black, 6 black, 4 white. Mm-hmm. If you're adding that in with a shore trooper unit or something, becomes a lot better when it's you've got the mortar team.
Absolutely, and that's going to create a lot of combinations with pooling weapons.
Yeah, one of the things I saw was if you were to fire support the mortar, assuming it's 3 white, with Bosk on his lying in wait turn.
Yeah.
You've got 1 red, 7 white.
Not to mention all the aim tokens.
10 aim tokens.
Jeez.
Sharpshooter 1, Pierce 1. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how they allow the mortar to roll into fire support. Mm-hmm. Because all you're doing is adding that weapon's dice to the attack pool.
Okay. But that's going to prevent that unit from being able to fire later, though.
It does. It uses that that unit's activation. Mm-hmm. But if the units that it's shooting is at range 2, or range 3, or is closer than range 4, are you still able to use that in?
Okay. That'll be something we'll have to
right.
Figure out as the game progresses and as we get more information on these units, which supposedly is still going to be Q2.
Yeah, I mean, that's that's coming very soon.
So, yeah, before we get onto the Dewbacks, let's just talk about real quick the release schedule, because we're looking at we just found out that we're getting the tanks and land speeder are shipping.
Right.
So we know that probably about 2 weeks from now.
Coming at the end of the month.
Yeah. So we're looking at, by the end of April, we'll have those. So then we still have in Q2, we've got the down ATST, we've got Sabine, we've got Bosk, we've got the Tauntauns, the Rebel Veterans, we've got the Shore Troopers, and the Dewbacks.
That's a lot of stuff coming.
Supposed to all come out before the end of Q2, before we see the Clone Wars debut Q3.
Q3. And it doesn't surprise me. I mean, they've got to push product, right?
Sure, yeah.
So the way that they've been releasing product to this point makes sense. You don't want to give everybody everything up front, and then you get this giant spike of sales, and then it just kind of flatlines. Because you got investors and things like that want to see this stuff. So that want to see product, that want to see numbers, that want to see trend lines, stuff like that. So you want to go and space all of those releases out. But now, the Clone Wars is the 10-ton elephant in the room.
Absolutely, yeah.
They got to clear the decks for Clone Troopers. So, it doesn't surprise me that they're accelerating things. Get all of this stuff out at the same, push it all out and let the Clone Wars set take the spotlight.
And honestly, I'm not complaining about it. My wallet might be, but I'm happy to get all this stuff and then start loading up on my either droids or clones. I still haven't decided yet.
Right. I'm Empire all the way.
Well, I know,
yeah.
who you are.
So just looking it up real quick, because I was going off of memory, which is always a frightening proposition for me. But so fire support is not limited by range, either. As it's written on the Phase 1 Clone Trooper card,
okay.
It's not limited by range from the unit that is shooting or from the unit that is shooting to the unit that is providing the support.
Oh.
So like the unit that is providing the support doesn't have to be within range 1 of the unit that's doing the shooting. It just says when another friendly unit performs a ranged attack, if you have a face-up token. That's it. So, how does that work if I've got a mortar team sitting in the back and they've got a, HQ uplink or whatever, and they've got an order token, and then they're contributing, it looks like you can contribute that to that attack.
Yeah.
So that's handy. That's really good.
All right, so...
And for what it's worth, and this is why I spent so much time looking this up prior, that's going to apply for that Mark II medium blaster also.
Oh,
and
yeah,
if we go with the fact that the Mark II medium blaster is one of the hardpoint weapons on the X-34.
Oh, yeah.
That's allowing you to add 4 black dice to whatever your veterans are shooting.
Okay, so
or whatever any other unit is shooting. So that's why I wanted to look that up. But adding 4 black dice to a unit that maybe surges to crit or something else, that's good.
That's huge.
That's really good.
For sure, yeah. You throw that in with fleet troopers who surge to hit or something. Yeah, that's...
something like that. Well, it's a friendly unit performs a ranged attack.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Leia just got 6 black sharpshooter 2 surge to crit.
Yeah,
that's hardcore, man.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Yeah, that's really nasty.
All right, so the second unit that we had previewed on Monday was the Dewback, and Josh, did you want to regale us with
baby Dewback do 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 back do 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 back do 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 back.
So you'll
never hear that again.
You're saying doo-doo back.
I don't care. I bastardized the song to my own whim. I don't care. Don't at me, people.
It was a special request from Nick Freeman. So friend of the show, there you go.
Yep.
You can record it and play it to your future children. All right.
I will never do that again. You will never hear that ever again.
All right, so...
Although I think we just found our next new shirt after I sit with Splimo.
So the Dewbacks... right away, the model's awesome. One of the coolest sculpts I've seen yet. I love it.
It's gonna be fun to paint. I've never painted an animal.
So is it gonna be purple?
It's gonna be a first one.
Is it gonna be a purple Dewback?
Yes, it is. I'm gonna find a way to purple Dewback it up because I don't care that it's green on Tatooine. I don't care. My Dewbacks are purple. Screw you. Don't at me again.
So the Dewback, the sculpt looks awesome. The paint job that they had, on the display was really cool. Matt sent us some pictures from Star Wars Celebration, and
good.
It looks spectacular. So looking forward to painting that for whoever commissions me to do it. I might just buy one for the hell of it anyway.
Right.
But so, just kind of like how the Tauntauns were the Rebel analog to the speeder bike, this is kind of the Imperial analog to the ATRT. And I would say it performs a lot of unique things that the ATRT doesn't. I mean, it's way more devastating in melee.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
But, it's, got some upgradable weapons and things. So we'll go right into the card first before we get into discussion of it too far. Looks like 90 points for the model, 1 Dewback per model, 6 health, courage value of 2, red dice, armor saves, and surge to hit. It's got, for the melee attack, there's no base ranged weapon, but the melee attack is 3 red, 3 white, critical 2, suppressive.
Ouch.
Right?
That's painful.
Yeah.
I'm torn. I see speed 1 on anything, and I just kind of go, ugh.
You got to factor in the size of the base, though.
It's a big base, so it's probably going to be an effective speed 2 move. The fact that you get relentless on it is good also.
Really good.
Looking at the rest of the keywords, armor 1, so it's going to negate 1 hit per. You've got relentless, which is good. It allows you to perform an attack after you move. So, charge is only melee. Relentless is
melee or ranged.
Melee or ranged.
Without getting too much of a diatribe, I think relentless is the best keyword in the game, to be honest with you.
Probably, yeah. I mean,
there's very few units that have it.
Right.
And I think being able to do that, like you said, with either the versatility of melee or ranged attack, I'm talking about the action economy. I mean, you're giving yourself a free action
attack.
every turn.
Yep. And you can move, attack, move, too.
Yeah.
That's one of the nice things about it.
Reposition, so it gives you the free ability to pivot.
Which is going to be useful because, especially since nothing appears to be fixed front on any of those weapons upgrades. There's 3 of them there, and we can only see the T-21. But, you're going to move, reposition, shoot, move again, reposition.
Yeah.
It's going to be something you're going to need to do.
And spur, and this one I think is huge because when you see all the stuff that the Imperials do with throwing suppression around, if you throw Krennic in there and all of a sudden start giving your own guys suppression, well, spur is going to allow you to basically gain another suppression to increase your maximum speed by 1. That's pretty awesome.
Now here's where this gets fun, right? When you start combining this with other ridiculous things. First of all, can you stack that taking that? Well, disregard. Let me rewind that a little bit. Going through and adding this with something like compel.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna your courage to your 2 suppression. Mm-hmm. So you're suppressed but not panicked. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and compel you, which gives you another suppression token, and then I'm going to spur it to make it into a 2.
Yeah.
Right?
So then you're moving twice at movement speed 2.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is really good on a big base.
Yep.
With charge or relentless, which will let you do. Okay. But here's where it really gets fun. You line up 3 Dewbacks, right? Actually, no. They're trooper units. Mm-hmm. So you line up 2 Dewbacks, right?
Yeah.
And then you give them each a wound because Darth Vader on his first turn just threw new ways to motivate them.
Okay.
Which gets you an extra action. So I'm going to triple spur 3 speed 2 moves on a big base into melee first turn.
I'd have to do some measurements on that to see if you could do that.
How far you can get across the board.
But I think you can get pretty far. I mean,
yeah.
I measured it out for Tauntauns just to see if I can get within the range 2 for their shots, and I can.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say there's a good chance you might be able to do that without, just based on first glance.
Right.
But
here's the other funness. Because one of those cards that I see in there is a flamethrower.
Oh, and in case we didn't want to leave the last keyword out, you have unhindered too.
Unhindered too, yeah.
So difficult terrain doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Move right
through
it.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's tasty.
Yeah,
just the idea of being able to new ways to motivate them, triple move, an elephant. You're basically Hannibal at this point. You
right. If Hannibal had giant T-Rexes with flamethrowers, essentially yes.
This just became a game of smash up, and I love it so much. But yeah, I mean the possibility. I can't wait to see what Nick Freeman janks out of these guys.
Oh god!
Because if anybody can find all of the jank for this unit, it's him.
Yeah, so flamethrower is previewed on here. Range 1 and blast is all we can really see, and then spray. But we can't see if it's black dice.
It's probably
red
a black
dice.
die.
Probably,
yeah.
But I mean, still having the ability to do that is awesome.
It's nice.
And then having that or the T-21 blaster rifle, which is 4 white dice, range 1 to 3, critical 2 for 10 points. It gives you 2 totally different ways of playing the unit. There's another heavy weapon that's shown. It just says range 1 to 4.
Yeah, and it's the RT-97C, which is on. I think it's on the tank.
Okay. No keywords on it. Doesn't say how many dice you throw for it, but
I'm looking it up on the tank right now.
Okay, but either way, I mean, you've got 3 distinctly different weapons, which change the way you would play. Just like with ATRT, you can drastically change the way you run your ATRT based on the hard point weapon you have.
Right.
But from the looks of it, honestly, a Dewback is a viable unit naked.
Sure. Yeah. So the RT-97 is on the tank, anyways. It's 1-4, 1 red, 2 white.
Okay.
So not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
And 14 points on the tank. So
Okay.
if you look at it, that would seem to sit right there in between the 10 points for the T-21, and who knows what you're going to get for the
Sure.
for the flamethrower.
The tank doesn't surge to hit, does it?
No.
Okay. So
not without a pilot.
The Dewback does.
Does.
So that adds
some
extra value
one
to
red,
it.
1 red, 3 white. But I mean, again, you're getting into the how valuable is critical, right?
Yeah.
You're throwing 4 white dice, not stellar, but you've got surge to hit, critical 2. So if you manage with an aim token, if you manage to roll 2 surges, those surges become hits, and then those hits critical into crits. So you're getting through cover. You're defeating dodges. So it's it just became Math Wing again.
All right, so based on first glance, where do you stack up? All right, Dewbacks versus Tauntauns.
I take Tauntauns all day.
Really?
All day.
Okay.
Yep. Just because sharpshooter, red attack dice,
less
range
survivability, but
range 2, but 2 red attack dice. Yeah, that's not bad. We still haven't seen what Ram does.
Yeah.
I think they may have talked about it a little bit on the 5th Trooper when Alex and Luke were on.
All they said about Ram was that it's going
better the faster you're going.
Exactly. The faster you're going, the better it is. So,
yeah.
I mean, as if you weren't moving enough to get the free dodge tokens anyway.
Right. Yeah, I think I would much rather have Tauntauns. Just to be honest with you, just the speed ability, the ability to get dodges automatically, red dice on your attack, and I think they have Gunslinger also. I think
no,
they don't.
No.
Okay, but still, it's 4 red. It's 4 red dice.
Sure. Yep. And
if you've got a full unit, it's 4 red dice, sharpshooter 1, no pierce, but still, that's good.
Yeah.
This is the one thing that bothers me. And yes, I know it's space lizards and space horses, but can somebody explain to me how a fast-moving pistol shot is more accurate than a slow-moving rifle shot? Somebody? How one gets sharpshooter and the other doesn't?
They're all being ridden by Annie Oakley. I don't know.
Apparently. It literally is Wyatt Earp's revenge ride, I don't get it, man.
I'm totally putting a handlebar mustache on my
should.
Tauntaun rider.
You should.
Yeah.
And hell's coming with me. Yeah, you should do that.
And what about the short troopers versus rebel veterans? Who you taking?
That's a tough one, just because it's going to depend on how those emplacements actually shake out.
I agree with you.
The mortar, if the mortar is the same thing as the ATST, it's nice. It's not going to be a heavy hitter on its own. It adds into that Imperial suppression game a little bit with suppressive on the weapon. But if that Mark II is 4 black dice with fire support, it's especially with the amount of sharpshooter and pierce on some of the rebel heroes, I don't see how you don't think that the shore trooper or the veterans are the better choice.
It's too tough to call, I think.
It is. Yeah.
All right, so that pretty much wraps up that, but we got more stuff to talk about in just a little bit. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll take a look at what Matt spoiled for us today.
Thank you, Matt.
You're listening to the Legion Outriders podcast, a member of the Radio Free Tatooine Network, recorded on location at Power 9 Games. Whether you're looking for the latest releases from Legion, X-Wing, 40K, Magic, or any of our other extensive inventory of board and card games, head to power9games.com and use coupon code OUTRIDER10 to get 10% off your order. Plus, shipping is free on orders over $100. Now, back to the Outriders.
Welcome back, Outriders. John and Josh here, holding it down for the 2/3 of the Legion Outriders podcast. Now,
I guess you could say, hello there.
Right? So Matt is, not just on vacation over at Star Wars Celebration. He's actually doing his due diligence to provide us with all of the news and spoilers. And
I don't think it's a coincidence that and we're gonna go political here for just a minute. So I forgive me, but it's no mistake that the day that Julian Assange ends up, maybe they got the wrong guy, because our deep state wiki leaker seems to have come through for us. Way to go. Appreciate you.
Oh, poor Matt. He's gonna get wrapped up by the FBI all because of you. So Matt, I don't know if he was pointed to this or he just happened to have a keen eye, but Matt sent us a photo with Obi-Wan's card.
Oh, wow!
Right?
And I'm surprised because looking at Facebook and Discord, like half of the Legion community is at. Is at celebration.
I mean, how many people send photos of
and we got it
the
at like
models?
2:00 in the afternoon, our time, which is like 4:00 there. How did you people miss this? How did this go unseen? Like, I don't get it, man. I saw plenty of pictures of models and Vaders and guys in costumes.
I'm just gonna assume that Matt did some really good sleuth work.
He must have been, or got a behind the scenes something, because I don't get how anybody else missed this. But thanks. Well, that helped us.
He didn't get a Darth Vader, so he couldn't have had that much inside scoop on it.
Sad panda.
It's all right. You have 3 more days to do it, Matt.
Yeah.
But yeah, Obi-Wan. So here's what we got for the card for those of you guys who haven't seen it yet. 175 points.
Expensive.
So expensive, halfway between Luke and Vader,
and fits in with what we've been told about the Republic.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be elite, elite troops led by Jedi.
Yep.
So this is a more than just some dusty farm boy with a daddy's lightsaber.
Before we even get into it, Civilized Warrior,
right?
This subtext, awesome.
Whoever is doing this flavor text is just hitting the shade, just perfect.
Right.
Love it.
So the Civilized Warrior Obi-Wan Kenobi has red dice defense save, 6 health, 3 courage, no surges, 2 movement, and like Luke has jump.
Jump 1.
Has charge.
Yeah.
And this is where he and Luke totally diverge.
Completely.
Guardian 3. Yeah, you thought Chewie was, the best friend forever. No. Obi-Wan is the guy you want to have.
It's bold strategy, Cotton.
Right. So, Guardian 3, immune to Pierce, Master of the Force 1, and Soresu Mastery. While defending or using Guardian, if you spend a dodge token, you gain Defensive Surge, and the attacker suffers 1 wound for each surge rolled. Whoa.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. Really risky to start. Yes, red defense dice.
Sure.
Yes, the ability to have a deflect, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
But force reflexes, take a dodge.
So you're automatically putting force reflexes on him.
Absolutely.
Especially with having Master of the Force.
Sure.
I mean, you're readying it every turn. So that's a gimme.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, red dice fail all the time.
True.
Are you going to go and start trying to soak off wounds off your clones and end up putting Obi-Wan at 2 health on round 2? Like,
it's a tough decision, but
it's,
for your opponent, like, they have to make that tough call. It's like, do I want to shoot at these clones when chances are Obi-Wan could deflect it back at me, or should I just shoot at Obi-Wan?
I'm going to shoot at Obi-Wan. I'm going to laser vomit onto Obi-Wan because the dice will fail eventually. And here's what gives me the faith to do that, okay? A tale from a game that I just played this weekend. I had my opponent, Adam, great guy, good player, had a DLT Death Trooper squad that was just tearing me up, right? Okay. I'm like, all right. I was running a Krennic Boba list. I'm like, all right, Boba's got to get in here and got to take these guys out. Mm-hmm. So threw down the jetpack rocket because they were in cover. They had suppression and in cover. Threw down the jetpack rocket because I wasn't close enough to get the flamethrower on.
Yeah.
So threw Boba Fett's attack. 3 red, 2 black, range 3. Right, 5 hits.
Yeah.
Right. So he picks up 5 red dice. You're thinking, all right, Space Marine saves. You need a 3 up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Blanked 4 of them in a surge, which got pierced, wiped the entire unit.
Wow. Okay.
Now imagine if that's Obi-Wan. Now, that's an extreme variance hitting you.
Sure.
Okay. But at LVO, I had a Vader roll that I needed paint. I, spend the dodge. It took 4 hits, spent the dodge token, needed paint on all 3. 3 blanks.
Sure.
It happens, man.
Bad beats happen, but statistically, it's not going to be the norm.
Yes.
So,
but if I can reliably in a turn pump shots into Obi-Wan and make him make 4 saves per, I'll take it.
Sure. Yeah.
Absolutely, I'll take it because those dice will fail. Red dice will always fail you. Always.
But I think having not only the good defense himself, but the ability to defend for people around him, that's a first we've seen like that, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
Now he's no slouch in combat either.
No.
So he's his melee skills. He's got the Obi-Wan's lightsaber, which is essentially ATST.
Yep.
2 red, 2 black, 2 white, critical 2, impact 2, pierce 2.
It's pretty meaty.
Definitely, yeah. I mean,
it's pretty meaty.
Having the critical 2 is awesome. He doesn't surge to hit, so you're going to need it.
Right.
But where I think one other value for him is you throw a saber throw on him, you pick 3, you basically divide it in half, but you can pick 3
it's 2
to
red,
use.
1 white.
2 red, 1 black.
1 black, sorry.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's really
That's
good.
really good.
Especially with critical. I mean, the big drawback to Vader's saber throw is it's 3 red, but if you're throwing it into something with cover, it ends up being 1 hit.
Yeah,
right?
It's presuming you hit with 3 of them.
Right. Here, okay, great. Critical 2. I'm gonna throw my 2 red, 1 black. 3 hits. Well, I'm gonna critical 2 of those into crits. And then those are just going to go through because of Pierce.
Yeah, so it's
it's
a
way
way better saber throw.
A lot better, yeah.
Because he doesn't have a normal ranged weapon, and if you're going to be hanging out with the clones, chances are you're probably going to need some ranged firepower.
Sure.
So
which you could also then fire support.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, critical 2, Pierce 2 with whatever you're throwing out of the clones.
Yeah,
becomes a lot. Yeah, that becomes really good.
With impact too, yeah. So I mean, you've instantly given your clones some ability to hurt vehicles.
Yeah. It's really good. But he also gets a command slot, so you can then, if you want to make him a little bit more survivable, that Guardian can go both ways. You can put a steamed leader on him,
sure.
And now the clones are making saves on him, right? Yeah. So if I try to do my laser vomit at you. The clones, assuming you've deathballed all 7 of the units that you're going to have once cost comes into this, the clones could start soaking some of those wounds off. The big thing here for me, though, is the training upgrade.
Yeah.
Because that gives you access to Hunter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
That gives you access to Duck and Cover.
So,
I mean, that gives you a lot of, that gives you a lot of secondary mitigation and buffs that are going to be that we haven't really seen on somebody swinging a glow bat around yet.
Yeah. And he's going to get expensive. We start throwing all these upgrades on there. I mean, like you said, reflex is an auto take.
Is it going to be 235 points expensive? Because that's what Palp and Vader are sitting at generally. That
probably won't be that expensive, but he'll be up there.
So what you get for the price is still better than Vader.
I would agree with you. Yeah. We don't know what his command cards are yet. So, one of Vader's biggest strong points is his command cards, and who knows what Obi-Wan's going to have.
Sure.
I would imagine they're probably going to be good.
Yeah.
Based on, he is one of the, I would say he's arguably the headline character from the Clone Wars era.
Oh, probably, absolutely, sure.
So he may be giving Luke a run for the money for best overall character.
I think he's hands down. I don't know how you look at that and you don't see it, especially with Charge.
Yeah.
I mean...
But he plays in a unique enough manner.
Sure.
He's as good as Luke, I would say, based on what we see.
More defensively
but
minded.
More defensive minded, yeah, which might play better with the clones.
Yeah. I mean, you already see the clones theme developing. They say Jedi's and elite units, but you're getting a lot of stuff to keep those elite units that you're paying a lot of points for alive, which is good. It's nice.
So I'm excited to see what Grievous looks like. we've yet to see those
Yeah.
or the B2 Rolly Boys. So
I can't wait.
yeah,
I can't wait. It's good though. I mean, we're in a really good spot with Kenobi. So this is really good. I like it.
yeah, and thanks to Matt for spoiling this for us, or bringing us these inside scoops.
Good job, Matt.
I'm sure it was probably left there intentionally because from everything we've seen so far, and credit to FFG and Luke and
they don't do
and
much
Alex.
by mistake.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're very calculated with their reveals. They don't do any I would say accidental spoilers. It seems like
Right.
everything is very calculated and leaves a nice trail for us to follow, which is half the fun.
We're appreciative of that because you give us something to talk about.
Yeah.
Which is good.
And also,
we like having something to talk about.
Matt said that he talked to the guy who was in charge of the marketing or
The articles.
The articles.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can we can
Well,
convince them.
hopefully he stuck us with this jank recording equipment because he used his recording equipment to get an interview with that guy.
Yeah.
Let's hope, Matt.
So hopefully next week we'll have some good interviews that we can throw in there and more inside
great.
information.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can talk about some episode 9 next week because maybe we'll have some spoilers on that.
Yeah. I mean, we saw a leaked poster that, some folks are saying it's fake. Some folks are saying isn't. But it's got Y-Wings on it.
Yeah.
I'm stoked. Give me some of that Y. After what they did with the Y-Wings in Rogue One, where you got to see them actually bomb stuff, bring me more Y-Wings.
Oh, man. So one thing I want to talk about, too, we got a tournament coming up this weekend, and that'll be helping to run, and I'll probably play in, presuming we have enough people that I can do that. So I'm looking at bringing a new list, and this is a big departure from what I've been doing, I would say, typically from my more competitive games. I don't know if anybody who's going to be playing this is going to be listening. They may just totally have, okay, well, we'll just do this to counter his meta. Not that I think it's going to be that good of a list, but this is what I'm looking at bringing. You tell me what you think about this, okay? So, Commander, I'm running just Leia.
Just Leia.
Just Leia.
Just Leia.
With improvised orders.
Okay.
Doing 4...
So, no Guardian? No Esteemed?
Improvised. Sorry, no, just improvised orders.
Oof.
Yeah. So
Ooh.
I may
know what if I was across the table from you, I know what my snipers were shooting at.
Yeah.
Like turn 1. That's oof.
So I'm
good luck with that.
I'm planning on leaving her pretty much out
Hidden.
of line of sight.
Yeah. Good luck.
Throwing 4 Rebel Trooper squads out there, Z6s.
I hate it already.
One with Astromech droid. And you'll see why.
Okay.
Because it's the most unplayed unit, right? I'm just
Sure.
Screw it. Throw it out there. Why not?
Whatever. Yeah.
2 ATRTs with the rotary blaster and a 1.4 FD laser cannon team. So that's all my support. And then for special forces, we've got 2 sniper strike teams.
Wait, are you feeling okay?
I know. Hey,
you
know what?
feel-
I've been
are
playing
you-
a lot of snipers.
Are you okay, John?
Oh, man, the extra activations. You can't beat that.
Right.
And then Rebel Pathfinders with the weapon upgrade, duck and cover, HQ uplink, and Biston. Here's my thought process behind all this. Okay.
Ouch.
I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of Death Troopers out there right now. I feel like a lot of people want to get some test runs on those.
Man, Death Troopers do work too, man.
Oh yeah.
Oof.
And having the ability to reach out to that
Range
4, and then having the Sentinel range 3 standby.
It wasn't as useful as I thought it would be.
No.
Yeah, well, partially because I played somebody that had Death Troopers also.
Okay.
And they just range forwarded it off. So,
All right. Well, with Rebels, one of our few drawbacks is that we don't have a lot of range 4.
Sure.
So I try to throw as much range 4 in this thing as I could. So hence the snipers, hence Biston.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how it works out. Got some light, got a few armor pieces in there, so maybe that'll throw off the meta a little bit.
Probably
this is not a list I would take to a major tournament.
Sure.
We'll put it that way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I think that says something that what you were saying about snipers. I started playing them.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you want to be competitive in the game, you can't not bring them. Almost.
Yeah.
Like just because of the activations that they give you, and it's a reliable source of Pierce.
For sure.
It's,
yeah.
I chewed up a couple of units of Death Troopers primarily with snipers. If there's one thing that I don't really like that much about the balance of the game right now is that, 7 of the 8 lists that are going to Worlds came out of Adepticon with snipers in them.
Yeah.
And not just one, like 2 or 3.
I don't think that they're necessarily terrible for the game because I don't think they drastically impact the game itself. I just think that they're good to have because they're extra activations, they're cheaper, and the ability to reach out across the board and touch something.
Right.
Whether it's a character, whether it's just knocking suppression out or knocking a suppression and the standby off somebody.
Right. The one list that came out of Adepticon going to Worlds had triple saps.
Yeah.
So, if you don't have strike teams in your list, you're not going to be top tier competitive.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a healthy thing for a game.
I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, but it would be nice to see some things coming out in the future to help counteract snipers or make their alternative options better.
What you've got now with being able to take snipers and corner peek them, and keep one guy behind. So if the one guy who's doing the shooting dies, your second guy picks the rifle up.
Sure, it's basically giving them a second life.
Right, yeah, exactly. I would really like to see no kidding indirect fire now that we're getting mortars in this game. It'd be probably be hard to work in with the rules, but if I can see you, that mortar that can't see you but is all the way back in the back does what mortars do and lobs something down over the buildings on top of your head.
Sure.
I think that is a good counter sniper kind of thing. Some sort of indirect fire that you don't need line of sight, that you have the possibility of killing the entire unit.
I'm not against that idea.
I think a limited IDF capability would be really useful.
Yeah, I'm not against that. But anyway, yeah, that's my list. So it's not meant to be hyper competitive. It's just kind of a change of pace from what I normally play, and something that I don't know might just counter what the meta is right now.
Sure. Yeah.
I'll let you know next week when I go 0-4. That pretty much wraps up all I got for this week. You got anything else you want to talk about?
No, we're supposed to have a Patreon. We have a Patreon new listener. I can't get into the email to find out who it is, so we're going to have to do that next week.
There we go. See, Matt leaves, and then
you know who you are.
Thank you.
Thank you. You. We'll recognize you by name next week. You'll get double recognition. You'll get the satisfaction recognition of your own knowledge this week, and next week we promise we'll get you.
It's the intrinsic value that's the most important thing.
Yes. You know who you are. Thank you.
All right, folks. Thanks for listening this week. We'll catch you guys next week.
You've been listening to the Legion Outriders podcast, a member of the Radio Free Tatooine Network.
Only now, at the end, do you understand?
For more from the Outriders, make sure you like us on Twitter @Legion Outriders, subscribe to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Legion Outriders, and make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast. Thanks for listening.
You're all clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing and go home.